Just 1 hour before kickoff, it's time for the Coach Bennett Show. A conversation with Berwick Bulldogs head coach Mike Bennett and the voice of the Dogs, Jim Doyle. Brought to you by First Columbia Bank and Trust. With you every step of the way. Welsh's Towing and Repair, towing, recovery, and lockout services. Axis Gymnastics Academy in Bloomsburg. Independence Ford, Route 11 in Bloomsburg. S.J. Kowalski Heating and Cooling. The way the earth intended. First Keystone Community Bank. Yesterday's traditions, tomorrow's vision. Mason's Monogram Service for all your Bulldog merchandise. Robert G. Dent Heating and Air Conditioning in Light Street. Red's Roofing. The Roofing Ninjas in Berwick. Lehigh Valley Health Network. The region's leader in orthopedic and sports medicine. The Mayo Funeral Homes of Berwick and Chickashinny. And by Wagner's Trophies and Engravables. Main Street in Bloomsburg.
Well, after a 42-27 season-opening loss to Southern Columbia last Friday in the longest night of football in the history of Crispin Field, Bulldogs are on the road tonight for another challenge. They play defending District 2 champion Valley View here at John Hensey's Veterans Memorial Stadium in Peckville. Mike, your debut as a Berwick head coach was certainly a memorable one. Your team played a great first half, had 170 total yards to 7 for Southern. You had a 14-0 lead. But after that first half, a long break because of the lightning, which extended halftime, altogether counting the regular halftime and the extended halftime, 2 hours altogether, and then Southern Columbia caught fire after that. How did you deal with the delay? I mean, you've said what you had to say, you've made your adjustments, you're ready to go with the second half, team's out in the field, and then an hour and 45 minutes later they start. So what did you do after your halftime talk?
Well, and I told the kids this, and it's a thing where I try to, have everything on schedule. I try to have everything, every situation hit on at least sometime during the week somehow. Okay. Now it's my fault that I didn't have the kids ready for a 2-hour weather delay, in between there. But it's just a thing that, the kids were raring to go. Okay, they were raring to go. I did get, our principal, Bob Croup, did tell me, okay, that there was lightning over by Danville and over lightning by Southern, by Central. So we might be in a delay. But, just getting these kids going, putting stuff on the board, talking to both offense and defense, getting them ready to go. And then they come in like lightning strike half hour. Okay, I'm thinking half hour, okay. We can deal with it. The kids get going. We got them in here, got them cooled down a little bit, and I think that first one we thought that we were going out, and then all of a sudden another lightning strike. So there's another 30 minutes right there. Then you're looking. Then you're thinking, okay, we got to get these kids going. We got to get them stretched out. We got to get them warmed up. How are we going to do that? Fortunately for us, we have the field house here, that we could do some of those things. And then we're like, okay, time to go again. Get them back up, and then get all back on the field. At least I walked on the field and go, we just saw something over by, over west, so we got to do it 30 minutes again. So now things start popping up that you didn't even think about. Now, like, the kids are hungry. Like, the kids, they needed something, like, to eat, and some nourishment there. And that right there, for me, I didn't prepare for. I didn't have things ready to go, during halftime for these kids. Even as simple as, getting something to eat, putting in their stomachs. So that will be rectified for this week. That'll be rectified for tonight and subsequent weeks. But it was hard. I mean, in the present mind, I didn't think much of it. I don't want to use excuses, and we're not going to use the weather delay as excuse at all, okay, because both teams had it. But, we can be a little bit better prepared, okay, what we do at halftime, okay, and when something like this comes up again, hopefully, it's for the better.
Southern Columbia's offense is so prolific, and I hear it every time we do one of their games. The opposition will say, well, the key is keep the ball on offense, keep it away from them. You did a marvelous job of that in the first half. I think they ran 7 plays altogether. Why weren't you able to do it in the second half?
I think that we got maybe caught behind the 8 ball, caught behind looking a little bit. They came out, they had the long drive, they scored. Okay, it was 14-7. We tried to get the run game going a little bit, all right? And, we did that for a little bit, but then, we had breakdowns. We couldn't get a pass off. Southern gets the ball back, score. Okay, so now it's 14-14. So now we're thinking, okay, now it's a 0-0 game. All right, let's see if we can't get this run game going again, trying to keep the ball from them. Didn't get that accomplished, and then Southern gets the ball back, boom, touchdown, boom, touchdown. So now we're fighting behind, the sticks a little bit per se, and then we're trying to throw a ball a little bit. We didn't get things going there. But I don't think it was much as what they were showing to us. We just had some mental lapses in there, on offense where we didn't have that in the beginning, and that cost us.
Matt Lonzinski had an up-and-down junior season. Your senior quarterback started the season, I thought, with his best performance as a Bulldog. Certainly statistically it was. 215 yards, 3 touchdowns. He was good, wasn't he?
Yeah, yes, he was. And I'll be the first to tell you. And I know Matt will tell you if you ever talk to him, okay? I think I've been on Matt more than any other player, on this team. But I told him, that's what a Bird quarterback does. Okay, a Bird quarterback goes out there and he gets the job done, whatever he has to do. So Matt, staying in the pocket, stepping up in the pocket, taking some hits. He took the offense where it needed to go. He was audibling run plays for us to get us out of bad looks that we had. Okay, he was trying to change the slide of our protection sometimes when Southern was showing a certain type of defense. So he did what had to be done. And you're right. I really believe that was his greatest game.
Up next, Mike will evaluate his team's defensive effort last Friday's opener. You're listening to the Coach Bennett Show on Sports Radio, HLM.
If you have a child that's interested in gymnastics, or if you've been practicing the sport for years, then Access Gymnastics Academy is where you want to be. Their dedicated coaches will teach you everything you need to know to perform your best, from the basics of flexibility, form, and style to advanced techniques that will improve your rhythm and style during a routine. Call Heidi Rebuck at Access Gymnastics Academy at 570-441-5969. That's 570-441-5969. Now enrolling for beginner to advanced classes at 917 East 7th Street in Bloomsburg.
Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick. The roofing experts for all of our listening area. With over 30 years experience and great rates, why go anywhere else when Red's Roofing will get the job done right for your roofing, decks, and siding, specializing in metal roofs, rubber roofs, and shingles. Most of the work is done in one day. Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas. Now located in Dushore and also serving Bradford and Sullivan counties with owner Harry Titus, a supporter of the Berwick football team and St. Jude Children's Hospital. Call 570-752-4351.
Northeast Pennsylvania, it's your home. And no matter what stage of life you find yourself in, what you rely on most is security. When that house becomes a home, the moment you get that new car, when your dreams become a reality, it's times like this when you have to look to the experts for advice and financial peace of mind. They're there with innovative products and services to help you with your financial future every step of the way. Together, they will help dreams and goals become reality. They are more than a bank. They're your neighbor. They are First Keystone Community Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Mason's Monogramming has the largest selection of Bulldog items in Berwick. Family owned with more than 30 years experience and new Bulldog wear for every age, including masks, tees, polos, sweater shirts, jackets, and hats. They even have brand new indestructible silicone cups, koozies, car coasters, decals, and more. Shop at masonsmonogram.com for their new items and select in-person pickup or shipping right to you. Follow their Instagram at Mason's Monogram for their latest new items. Mason's Monogram service in Berwick. Let them personalize for you.
You're listening to the Coach Bennett Show with the voice of the Berwick Bulldogs, Jim Doyle.
Tonight, the Bulldogs have made the long trip to Peckville to take on the Cougars of Valley View, the defending District 2 Quad A champions. Both teams lost their openers, the Dogs losing to Southern Columbia at Crispin Field, the Cougars dropping a 20-7 decision at Crestwood. Mike, Berwick's defense will try to match last Friday's first half performance, in which they shut out five-time defending state champion Southern Columbia, limited the Tigers just 7 total yards. In the second half, though, Southern Columbia exploded. Big plays, 42 points altogether. What was the difference?
Well, I think the difference was, and I think it was more so, our end. I know it was, a couple misassignments, okay, that led to those big plays. It was missed tackles that was led to those plays. So, listen, give Southern all the credit. Southern is Southern. You can only hope to contain, Southern so long. And I was surprised, okay, that we contained them for that much in the first half, okay. But they're going to find a groove. They're going to find their advantage that they thought they had, and they hit it. Okay, they hit us with a screen. Okay, they hit us with a couple things that we knew that were coming. We just couldn't stop it. Okay, like I said, we just had some guys in a bad position. We had some guys that, missed tackles. But, that's not saying that, certain individual things. It's a team thing. It was a defensive thing. It was an offensive thing. Those things will get rectified, hopefully tonight during this game.
Tristan English was terrific from his linebacker position a year ago. He missed some practice time with personal issues in the preseason. Saw only a snap or two in the opener. Figures to play a lot more in this one tonight. What does he bring to the table for your team?
Well, first and foremost, he brings experience. Okay, Tristan's a great kid. He's been in that position for the last 2 to 3 years. Okay, he knows what's going on with the defense. He's our play caller out there. He's our quarterback on the defense. Okay, so he brings that experience. He brings that toughness. Yeah, he missed some practice here and there because he had some, he had some personal things going on. But he's looking to get some more time tonight. Okay, hopefully on defense, and hopefully that's going to be a great key for us.
Last season, penalties hurt the Bulldogs a lot. You had to be really encouraged. Just one in that opening game last Friday. An emphasis, or just how do you explain that?
I think as a whole, obviously, yes, penalties, big-time penalties hurt us, these last couple of years. Okay, whether, it was a personal foul, offsides, holding, just things that we have control over. And it wasn't so much as an emphasis on penalties, Jim, that we've taken this year. It's just an emphasis as a whole on discipline, and that's just one part of it. Whether it's, if we're out here doing warm-ups in practice, and, a kid jumps off sides, there's going to be a consequence to your actions. So just holding these kids to the expectations and the standards that need to be held to, I think, did us well during that game.
Later in the show, Mike will tell us about tonight's opponent, Valley View. But up next, it's the Bulldog Spotlight feature. You're listening to the Coach Bennett Show on Sports Radio, HLM.
Welch's Towing and Repair proudly supports the Berwick Bulldogs and wishes them a successful year. Welch's Towing and Repair has a long tradition of helping. You can call Welch's 24/7 at 759-9737 if you are in need of a tow, jump start, tire change, are locked out, or to request them on scene if you're in an accident. Welch's accepts all major insurance and motor clubs, and they offer all types of preventive maintenance and state inspections for cars, trucks, and motorcycles. Welch's Towing and Repair, South Mercer Street in Berwick, and at their South Center Storage Facility, Columbia Boulevard in Berwick.
Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick, the roofing experts for all of our listening area. With over 30 years experience and great rates, why go anywhere else when Red's Roofing will get the job done right for your roofing, decks, and siding, specializing in metal roofs, rubber roofs, and shingles. Most of the work is done in one day. Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas, now located in Dushore and also serving Bradford and Sullivan counties with owner Harry Titus, a supporter of the Berwick football team and St. Jude Children's Hospital. Call 570-752-4351.
Hi, this is Cassidy from the Independence Ford Service Department, Route 11 in Bloomsburg. Does your Ford or Lincoln vehicle need service? Having trouble getting an appointment at your usual service center? At Independence Ford, we can and will take care of all your service needs. Regardless of where you purchase your Ford or Lincoln vehicle, our goal is to get you back on the road. Give me a call for an appointment today at 784-1414.
Come and get a great deal and total satisfaction.
Independence Ford, better people, better prices.
More people in our area are choosing First Columbia Bank and Trust for their home mortgages. Is it time you discover why? First Columbia Bank offers competitive rates along with local expertise, local decisions, and local loan servicing. Let's see what First Columbia can do for you. Call today to get pre-qualified for a home loan from the #1 mortgage lender in our area. Find out more or apply for your mortgage online at firstcolumbiabank.com. First Columbia Bank, with you every step of the way. Equal housing lender.
First Columbia Bank.
You're listening to the Coach Bennett Show with the voice of the Berwick Bulldogs, Jim Doyle.
Berwick and Valley View meeting for the 14th time tonight. Coming into this game at John Hensley's Veterans Memorial Stadium, the Cougars have beaten the Bulldogs 7 straight, including 21-0 in last year's District 2 Quad A semifinals here in Peckville. In our next segment, Mike will tell us about the Cougars, but now it's time for our weekly feature, Bulldog Spotlight. Tonight, the spotlight is on senior wide receiver linebacker Spencer Kishbaugh. Great start individually to the season for Spencer last Friday against Southern Columbia. On defense, led the team with 9 tackles, 2 tackles for loss. Offense, terrific, 5 receptions for 121 yards in that 80-yard touchdown run. Mike, I know you have great expectations for Spencer this season. couldn't ask much more for him in an opener, could you?
No, you couldn't have. And you can tell. You don't have to, tell or get Spencer ready for a game. Okay, Spencer, I love his attitude. I love how he prepares for a game. I think he was up on a press box at one point when I was down doing our quarterback walk, and I can hear him up top just getting ready for the game. So you don't have to get Spencer ready, but you're right. My expectations are, through the roof with him. He's committed to Kent State, to play football next year, which is great. So this is a great thing for him to have. A great thing for him to do is to try and lead this team, like he's doing. He does everything on the field. What you see is what you get from Spencer, There's no letdown. He's getting kids around. He's getting, he's talking to kids, getting these kids fired up. And it was great to see on both sides of the ball what he brought to the table.
It's interesting. He has a boxing background. He's an amateur boxer.
Mm-hmm.
What carryover do you think might there be, if any, from one sport to the other?
Well, obviously toughness. He's one of the toughest kids, if not the toughest kid that we have on the team. And, I would think, his toughness, his mental fortitude, getting hit in the face of boxing, isn't much different from getting hit by 250, 260-pound linemen, during a game. So I think, I just think his toughness, he's willing to grind, and he's willing to see things out is going to help him.
In the Bulldog Spotlight tonight, senior Spencer Kishbaugh. Tonight, Spencer and his Bulldog teammates are on the road to face Valley View. Up next, Mike will tell us about the Cougars' offense. You're listening to the Coach Bennett Show on Sports Radio, HLM.
Digging deeper to make ends meet? Now you can get a 26% tax credit with a geothermal heat pump system from Climate Master. Climate Master geothermal systems tap the constant temperature of the earth to provide heating, cooling, and hot water while keeping your home comfortable all year long. And Climate Master systems are so efficient, you'll save up to 70% on your energy bill. The investment in a Climate Master system quickly pays for itself. Contact your local Climate Master dealer, Robert G. Dent Heating and Air Conditioning in Light Street. Go to robertgdentheating-ac.com.
The Mayo Funeral Homes, located at 110 Chestnut Street in Berwick and 77 Main Street in Chickashinny, are proud sponsors of Berwick Bulldog football. The Mayo Funeral Homes, serving all faiths, makes it easier for those you love with pre-arranged funeral counseling, insurance, and pre-financed funerals. Mayo Funeral Homes also offers expert guidance in both traditional and cremation services. Mayo Funeral Homes, perfection in every detail.
Has a sports injury got you down? No one knows sports medicine like Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. Their unrivaled sports team has the highest orthopedic success rates in the region. With more than 30 years of experience, they put athletes first and provide same-day appointments. Don't let a sports injury slow you down. Learn more at lvhn.org/ortho or call 833-LV-ORTHO.
When you think of Wagner's Trophies and Engravables, you may only think of trophies, but we're much, much more than that.
We can take care of your wedding gift ideas or gifts for your graduate.
T-shirts and commemorative gifts for your company picnic or family reunion.
Unique gifts, personalized to your every need.
So when you think gifts, think of Wagner's Trophies and Engravables in downtown Bloomsburg. Online at wagnerstrophies.com.
You're listening to the Coach Bennett Show with the voice of the Berwick Bulldogs, Jim Doyle.
In a rematch of last season's District 2 Quad A semifinals, the Bulldogs take on Valley View tonight here at John Hensey's Veterans Memorial Stadium. Valley View averaged well over 30 points a game last season, but have only 3 starters back in offense. They had only 106 total yards and 7 points in last Friday's season-opening loss at Crestwood. Mike, from what you saw of that game, what were Valley View's issues on offense?
I don't know if there's many issues, that I saw with Valley View. Obviously it was the first game of the season. Obviously they're away at Crestwood. So maybe the atmosphere and the environment, they weren't ready for. But you saw a lot of good things, up there. Now you did see, some penetration from the defensive line from Crestwood. You did see some good plays made, from Crestwood's defensive backfield as well on their quarterback Kiwanis on Valley View. But you can only hold Valley View's offense for so long. And we have seen that. I'm not sure. I think the last 5 games we played Valley View, we lost. So I think it's like 0-5 for the last 5 times. So we know what we're going to see with Valley View's offense. There are going to be multiple All right, they're going to try and get different kids the ball, but it's a quarterback-driven offense. Now, we didn't play Hwanitz last year, their quarterback, all right, because he had that knee injury, but he's back this year, okay? So, quite frankly, he scares me, okay, for what he can do throwing the ball and running the ball, okay? So we have to be sound with what we do, okay, on defense to be ready for him.
Adam Hwanitz is 6'4", 230 pounds. He suffered that ACL injury in Game 6 last season. Up to that point, he was having an all-state season. 589 yards rushing and 10 touchdowns, completing almost 70% of his passes, 6 touchdowns, no interceptions. They were great numbers. In their preseason scrimmage against Southern Columbia and in their opener against Crestwood, he's been a reluctant runner, whereas that was his one of his strengths a year ago. Do you think that's just growing pains with him coming back from that injury?
I think it's definitely growing pains. Okay, we know what Hwanitz has. Okay, there. So I think obviously coming back from major surgery, major injury, with the knee. Okay, it's kind of same thing. Even in 1993 and 1994 when I came back, I had major ankle surgery and I missed the first 5-6 games of my senior year. So when you go out there, you might be a little bit reluctant. You might not be able, you might not trust yourself as much. Maybe he's not trusting his knee as much, but he's going to find out here, slowly but surely that he can trust it. Okay, he can run the ball. Let's just hope that he doesn't trust it enough tonight when we play him.
If Adam Hwanitz is not the marquee player in their offense, then Connor Hilling is. He's an all-state running back from a year ago. Last year, 1,537 yards and 21 touchdowns. And against Berwick in the district semifinals, had a good game, 128 yards and 2 touchdowns. What makes him a good running back? Well,
I'll tell you what, with Hilling, the running back, he sees holes and he hits holes. The kid is fast, okay? So we're thinking he's Wisławski fast. He's maybe by a split second slower than Wisławski. All right, so we had a state sprinter first game. We're going to have another state sprinter, Jim, tonight when we played Hilling.
And how about your keys? Considering what you've told me about Hwanitz, Hilling, the way they line up, what's the keys for your defense?
I think our keys to defense, okay, so we're going to regroup from last Friday, okay? We're going to get off the ball, okay? We're going to shed blocks on the defensive line. We're going to hit downhill, okay, with our linebackers and our DBs. So if we can just do those things, if we can shore up our tackling, okay, if we can shed blocks and get off some blocks on the defensive line, I think we'll be in a pretty good spot.
Up next, Mike will evaluate the Valley View defense. You're listening to the Coach Bennett Show on Sports Radio, HLM.
Has a sports injury got you down? No one knows sports medicine like Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. Their unrivaled sports team has the highest orthopedic success rates in the region. With more than 30 years of experience, they put athletes first and provide same-day appointments. Don't let a sports injury slow you down. Learn more at lvhn.org/ortho or call 833-LV-ORTHO.
When you think of Wagner's Trophies and Engravables, you may only think of trophies, but we're much, much more than that.
We can take care of your wedding gift ideas or gifts for your graduate.
T-shirts and commemorative gifts for your company picnic or family reunion.
Unique gifts, personalized to your every need.
So when you think gifts, think of Wagner's Trophies and Engravables in downtown Bloomsburg. Online at wagnerstrophies.com.
You're listening to the Coach Bennett Show with the voice of the Berwick Bulldogs, Jim Doyle.
After opening the season at Crispin Field, the Bulldogs on the road tonight, taking on perennial power Valley View here at John Hensey's Veterans Memorial Stadium in Peckville. Mike, defensively, Valley View under George Hwanitz usually lines up in a 4-3. Is that what you're seeing this season?
Yes, yeah. We're seeing a 4-3. We're seeing their Sam Backer, number 18, okay, walked up a little bit more. All right, to either side of the offense, but we're seeing a too high shell with a 4-3.
Would you describe them as an attacking defense or a read and react? Obviously, last week you faced a Southern Columbia team that really gets after you, blitzes a lot. What's Valley View like?
Valley View is probably a little bit of both. Okay, I think they're more so a read and react. Okay, where they're going to bring at least 5 each play with 18, maybe coming on some plays, maybe dropping back on some plays. And they might bring, both 18 and 5 at one time. So Now, me saying that, they'll probably come out and they might bring 8 or 9 like Southern did. Who knows? I mean, if they saw the tape, okay? But I really think they're a read-react team. They're a 2-high team, okay? You know, they play gaps well, okay? They read offensive well. And they always have given us trouble, okay? Especially during the last couple of years.
Who do you like best on their defense?
I like number 18, okay? I like number 18, this Kucharski kid, okay, out there. All right, so I know he plays, I think he plays, the stand-backer, all right? So he's up on the line. He might drop off in the back, he might drop off in the covers a little bit. But he's a strong kid, all right? He gets up there, okay, he rushes the quarterback. Okay, he had a couple sacks during Crestwood. All right, so I just think he's an overall talent athlete for them.
And in the secondary, Tahid Jewell, their free safety, is back from a year ago. They have 4 starters back. He is one of them, so he's their last line of defense.
Yeah, number 7, number 3, okay, that 2 shove that I was talking about. And also number 20, this Higgins, their corner, okay, all tough kids, all downhill kids, okay, so if we want to run the ball, all right, we're going to have to account for these guys coming down. Now, if we want to pass the ball, great athletes back there, so we're going to have to come up with some concepts, some schemes for them, so hopefully we can scheme some guys open.
Mike, it's been said that football teams make their biggest improvement from week 1 to week 2 of the season. If that's true for your team, what do you want to see them do better than they did in the opener?
Here's what I would like to see. Now, we went into the first game, okay, obviously, we were ready to go, okay? These kids were fired up, they were physically ready to go. They were mentally ready to go, okay? Now, coming off that loss, okay, what I want to see from the kids is what's next? So what's now, Jim? So what is it going to take for us to get back what we had during that first half against Southern and some of that third quarter, okay? Is everything lost to these kids? I mean, now it's, are we going to go back to some maybe old habits that we had, okay, of hanging our head, not thinking that we can play with teams because we lost that first game? Or are we going to come out strong like we did? Are we going to come out physical like we did? Are we going to have our new habits, okay, the way that we have been coaching these kids tonight? And I hope it's the latter, because I really think so. We have a great group of kids. We have a great group of seniors, all right, that I know want to turn this thing around. So I would love to say that this is the group. When you look back here in a couple of years ago, you know what? That 22 team, they were the start, okay? And like you said, like last week against Southern, okay, yeah, we know it's Southern, okay? It's the first game. We all understand that. But in the grand scheme of things, what did we really lose, okay, instead of a game, okay? Our goals are still the Valley Championship, okay, the Valley Conference Championship, still there, okay? District Championship, still there. State playoffs, still there. So this is a huge game now, okay, that we're playing. But again, it's just another team on the other side, and that's what we're trying to get to the kids.
Another big challenge, another exciting Friday night. Mike, thanks for your time. Best of luck.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it.
Join us again next Saturday afternoon when the Bulldogs play at Abington Heights for another edition of the Coach Bennett Show. Stay tuned now for Berwick at Valley View Football on Sports Radio, HLM.
You've been listening to the Coach Bennett Show, brought to you by First Columbia Bank and Trust. With you every step of the way, Welsh's Towing and Repair, towing, recovery, and lockout services. Access Gymnastics Academy in Bloomsburg, Independence Ford, Route 11 in Bloomsburg, S.J. Kowalski Heating and Cooling, the way the earth intended. First Keystone Community Bank, yesterday's traditions, tomorrow's vision. Mason's Monogram Service for all your Bulldog merchandise. Robert G. Dent Heating and Air Conditioning in Light Street, Red's Roofing, the Roofing Ninjas in Berwick, Lehigh Valley Health Network, the region's leader in orthopedic and sports medicine, the Mayo Funeral Homes of Berwick and Chickasha, and by Wagner's Trophies and Engravables, Main Street in Bloomsburg.